All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Pretty quiet day today, but I happen to unfortunately see a quote unquote pundit on, I think it was Bloomberg TV. Not sure which one. But anyway, this particular person said that the big stocks are not overbought. And I would kind of respectfully disagree because they are. so, so anyway, I was just thinking we could go through them. Now, back in my institutional trading days, people think institutional trading is this really complex and confusing, and a lot of it is, but some of it isn't. And when I would look at a chart, this is what would be on my chart. I'd have the Bollinger Bands and I'd have this RSI indicator. Overbought means something has been really jacked up by the buyers. The buyers are aggressive, they're emotional, there's the fear of missing out. So what happens? The price gets above what would be the typical or usual trading range. Now, why is this important? Well, because in trading on Wall Street, a lot of strategies are based on this concept of reversion to the mean. Now, this upper red line here is known as a Bollinger Band. It's two standard deviations above the 20-day moving average. Why is this important? Well, according to statistics, at least this is what they tell me. I remember not doing very well in statistics, but it's for another time. But so 95% of trading should be within two standard deviations of the mean. So that means if we exceed this threshold, that's going to draw sellers into the market. People who couldn't care less about where Microsoft is going to be in a month, a week, well, maybe a week, but a month, 2 months, a year. They're just traders. And that's most of what the market is people that are just trading. They're not taking long-term buy and hold positions. Anyway, you will notice that every time Microsoft kind of got to this level, a little bit of a sell-off followed. Well, here a big sell-off followed, or we went sideways. So, I mean, we're right there. This other indicator down here is the RSI. This is marking from where we are now to where we were 14 time periods ago. Now, I want to point that out when I say time periods, because you could look at say a one-day chart, and now for the RSI, you're looking at 14 minutes. How much has it moved in 14 minutes? And the same thing here with the Bollinger Band, except instead of being above the 20-day moving average, it's above the 20-minute moving average. Now, what I find fascinating and completely, I guess, underappreciated or taken for granted is the fact that you see these same patterns on charts of different time frames. Why is that? Well, because regardless of whether you're a day trader or a swing trader or a scalper or a long-term buy and hold, investor, people experience the same emotions, and emotions are what we see on a chart. All right, moving on. Apple. Let's see what this guy's doing. Yeah, I mean, this is overbought too, right? Now, you might say, well, Mark, it's not above that upper Bollinger Band there. Well, this stuff, first of all, is not perfect. And second of all, it's two standard deviations above the 20-day moving average. So if we count back 20 days, it kind of brings us back to here, right? So sometimes there are nuances you have to understand. Now, maybe according to the strict Bollinger Band definition, Apple's not overbought, but as someone who was a trader for 20 years, I look at it and I can tell you that it's overbought. See this strong action? You tend to get really aggressive buying at two different places, the very beginning of a trend and the very end of a trend. So am I saying that this trend is over? I mean, we're getting there, but like I always say, you got to wait for the reversal to start. Don't think you're going to get the top, because you're not. If you wait for look at that. This is kind of interesting. Facebook. Yeah, you're never going to get the top. You got to wait for the reversal to start. And then you jump in. It's not about making money. I mean, sorry. Hey, it is about making money. It's not about being right. It's about making money. Now look at this here. Facebook got above the Bollinger Bands, sold off. Got above the Bollinger Band, sold off. Got above the Bollinger Band, sold off. Got above it, sold off. Got above it. And this is some interesting action here today. This tells me that we got a reversal. Think about this, right? What does this tell us? The blue team is in charge. That means the close is higher than the open. Today, it looked like it was going to be another up day because the opening trade was higher than yesterday's close. But by the end of the day, what happened? The sellers pushed it all the way back down. So this is overbought. Looks like it's reversing here. Let's look at Google. And please sign up and tell your friends and all that. You know, we're pushing hard here to get a nice community. And so far, it's kind of coming together. It's pretty cool, actually. All right. Again, another one of the big stocks overbought. Oh, Tesla. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla is massively overbought. And it's on my screen for a reversal. I mean, look how overbought that is. Now, if you follow me, I told you how if it gets up to around here, 265, let's call it 267, there's a good chance it would reverse because there's tends to be resistance at former peaks, like right here. See how we got there? Peak here, and then we peaked at the same level. All right. Very common. That's because people buy here and the price falls out of bed and they say, if it ever gets back up to my price, I'm going to sell and get out of break even. So remorseful buyers placing sell orders of what was a peak and make it become a peak again. All right. Now, we didn't reach that level, but we are extremely overbought. But the reversal might be here. Now, why? Even though we didn't get up to that important prior peak, well, we're at a psychologically important price level, 250. Think about how many people bought Tesla down around 180, whatever, 190. Hopefully you're one of them. They say, a lot of these people say, okay, you know, this is going my way. If it gets to 250, I'm going to sell. I'm going to get out. Nice round level. It just shows how humans think, especially if something gets to 100 or 10 or 20 or $1. There tends to be support or resistance. But anyway, we could be on the verge of a reversal here. And it's on our stock market jobber trading school or whatever community recommendations. But the signal has not come yet. The signal is when the RSI turns down or when we close back below the Bollinger Band. All right. What am I missing? Amazon. Just doing the big MAG 7. It's another Bollinger Band. Yeah, it shows you, right? And nothing's perfect. This looks like it's consolidating after a few days. All right. So, how could I forget? NVDA. NVIDIA's kind of lost a lot of its steam, it seems like. But a little bit of an important price lesson here. This is your bearish engulfing pattern. See, we open there, we close there. Forget the name of it. People spend too much time worrying about the names. You got to worry about what does this action show. And the action shows it looked like after a big uptrend, it was going to be another opening day higher. Or it looked like it was going to be another up day. We opened higher than this day's close. But by the close, what happened? The sellers pushed us all the way back. We came down here. We found support at a level that was support before. There's support at levels that were before, or that were support before, very common. People sell at the bottom, and then the stock bounces. And they say, I made a mistake. If it gets back to my level, I'm going to buy my shares back. So remorseful sellers placing buy orders at the level that was support can make it support again. Here you have the opposite. This is buyer's remorse as indicated on a chart. Remember, when we look at a chart, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the psychology of the people who do the trading. I mean, we can't overthink it. So there are people who bought back here who regret doing so when the price goes down and they're like, oh, if it ever gets back to my level, I'm going to sell and get out of break even. So buyer's remorse could turn support into resistance. Seller's remorse can keep support intact. It's all about the psychology, everybody. All right. So anyway, I think that the market is overbought and the big guys are overbought. So if you're long, like I keep saying, you just stay long, but be ready for a quick turnaround because it's coming and could be tomorrow, could be next week, could be in a month, but it will come just like, just like the sun will rise and set, at least for now. All right. Thanks, everyone. I will see you soon.